YouTube family. Thank you for tuning in for another one of my videos. I really appreciate you taking a little corner out of your time to listen to a few things that I have to say. I really appreciate that. I don't take it for granted at all. And if you're new to my channel, I'm Valerie. I'm a self-empowerment coach and a soon-to-be newly released author. I help high-achieving women cultivate healing and rebuild self-worth after a toxic relationship. So today I want to talk to you about, I just want to share some of the things that I went through once I was coming out of my, once I was going, well, I'll put it this way. I call it my unforeseen season or my unseen season. Make that correction. My unseen season. And this was a period of going through the journey before I got to the healing part. Just some of the things that I went through, going through that journey, that tunnel of getting through from that bad side over to the healed and whole side. So I just wanted to share with you some of those things. And I'm sure it's others out there that have dealt with this, when you're hurt and you're broken, some of the things you deal with. So I just wanted to share some of the things that I went through when I was going through, when I was still broken and had not gotten to the healed part yet. And just share that with you. And of course, you can share in the comments and let me know if you have some things that you've dealt with when you were going through your journey, and perhaps you might still be going through it as we speak. But some of the things that I was going through when I was trying to, in the brokenness, still hurting and still, crushed, I would say one of the things was there was a time when I felt like giving up. And when I say that, I don't mean as far as, harming myself, anything of that nature. But what I do mean is I was going through a really bad divorce and a really bad custody battle. And I just wanted to give up. If there was a time when I wanted to give up, I just wasn't even going to try to fight for my son anymore, because it was so taxing. And it took so much out of me that I got to the point where maybe I just surrender and just give him to him, not even fight. And God rest her soul, it was my dear grandmother. She sat at the kitchen table. I'll never forget this. This has been years ago, because my son is 30 years old now, but this was when he was like 4 or 5. She said, "You better not give up. You fight." I'll never forget. She said, "You fight." And she gave me that strength. She just, and she was a very pleasant woman. Everyone loved her, but she got some sternness in her voice, and she took them glasses off and looked me in my eye and told me I better fight. And she just gave me that extra wind I needed under my wings. I just needed that extra wind. I had been battling for so long. I was exhausted, and I just felt like I didn't have what it take to continue on with the fight. But she was a part of that support system that I had. And she stuck it to me and told me, "You better fight. That's your baby, and you fight." And I did just that. But she played a big part of it. So that was one of the things that when I was going through in that hurt and that brokenness stage, I felt like I wanted to give up. And that's why it's so important, if you can, to have support. And I know everyone don't have it. But if that support means everything. It means everything. So I say another thing that I went through, sometimes I felt like, and I'm using this for a lack of a better word, I just felt like it was like a black hole, like it was a bottomless hole, like I just had a void in my heart. I just had a void in my heart. My son was gone, and I just felt like I just had this black hole, in the center of my chest. And that's how when I look back now and where I am now today, and I think about how I felt and some of the things I went through back then, I know it was nothing but God. It was nothing but God and my family and counseling, because I had to go to counseling, that pulled me through. Because if I didn't have that support in the good Lord and my family, I don't know, But I felt like it was just I just had a void here. My son was going, it's like my heart was ripped out my chest. So I went through one of those type of feelings. Another thing that I felt going through that journey was numbness. It's like you have various degrees of emotions. You can be angry, you can be sad, you can be, it's just like a roller coaster up and down. So there was a time when I felt numb, when I really didn't have any feelings. I was just numb. I had been through so much that I was just numb. And then I had what we would call a crying season, where at the drop of a hat, any little thing, I would tear up. I would look out the window. If I saw a little boy, I would tear up. I was just in a crying season. So that was just that emotional roller coaster that I was on when I was, in the trenches. I was not healed, but I was in the trenches going through. Another one of those emotions, or another thing that I went through, was sleepless nights. I dealt with insomnia for months. I could not sleep at night. I would go to bed and my mind was just racing. I just didn't get a good night's sleep. And by the time I finally fell asleep, it was time to get up. The sun would be coming up. So I was exhausted a lot because I didn't sleep well at night. That was another thing. Guys, I'm sweating a little bit, so please forgive me. Going through the change here. Okay, and I would say number 6, fearful. I went through a period when I was fearful. I was afraid. Afraid of the unknown, afraid of that I possibly would not see my son again. Just afraid, fearful of what might happen. I went through a period of fear. And of course, I had a time when I had no peace. That was basically all of the time. Because the fact that I couldn't sleep, no peace. The fact that I was crying on and off, I had a period of crying on and off, no peace. So mentally, I was just, I just had no peace. And then there was a feeling or a sense of low confidence. My confidence was just gone. I just insecure, just didn't have the confidence because I just had been stripped of everything. So I like to say that at the time I was a shell of myself now. So those are some of the ups and downs and the peaks and valleys that I went through, just going through that journey of hurt and brokenness. And I went through all of that before getting over to the side of healing. And we do know that, it's a journey. If you went through anything that's traumatic or anything that's broken you down in life, you don't get over it overnight. You do have to go through a season of and it's uncomfortable, it's painful, it's ugly. You have to go through all of that, to be renewed and to become healed. So I just wanted to share with you guys what I call the unseen season. And that's what you do behind closed doors before you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to go through it, hang in there, get help, pray. Hopefully that you would have some support, near you. And if you don't, seek that out. But those are some of the things that I went through. And I thank God, I wouldn't want to do it again. If I be honest with myself, it's not like I would want to repeat that season, and I will not repeat that season again. But all of that made me the woman I am today, because I'm much stronger because of the things I went through. I have gained wisdom because of the things I went through. And it was not always pretty. I did not always like it. It was painful. It was all of that in a whole nutshell. But all of that brought me to where I am today. And had I not went through all of that, I would not be the Valerie I am today. So I thank God. All things work together for the good. And we don't see it when we're going through it, but it really does. And I just want to share that with you. So once again, thank you for tuning into my channel. And I just want to share that unseen season that, people go through, or that I went through when you're just coming out of your turmoil and your trauma, and you're trying to get to that healing season. Okay. Again, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Please subscribe, like, and share. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until next time, have a great one. Bye-bye.